Welcome to another On the Road video, brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Stop! Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage.
Today we have a Kenmore oven. It's a built-in double oven. This Kenmore unit is actually made by GE. What we have today is the hinges are bent and the door, when it goes to shut, is not pulling shut. It's not even shutting the light off. And what I noticed was that this hinge to the right here is bent. And anytime you replace hinges, you want to do both sides, just because the tension on the springs will be different over the years of use. The tools you will need to complete this repair are a 1/4 inch nut driver and a Phillips head screwdriver. So first things first, what we do is just remove the door. It's very simple. You just get it to its angled here position. It's about 1/3 of the way open, and just pull up on the unit and it'll slide right off. Okay, so what we did on this particular unit is we had to move it out of the cabinet, probably about 6 to 8 inches. You could still leave it for the most part in the cabinet. Just you gotta have it hang out a little bit in order to remove the old hinges. There'll be 2 bolts holding them in. They're both 1/4 inch. It's just support the hinge here. All right, put the screws somewhere safe. The new hinges do not come with new screws and washers. So after removing the 2 screws, there's actually 2 more on the side here. There's 2 in the front and 2 on the side to support it, because it is very heavy duty spring. The black screws go on the inside, silver ones go on the front. So then after removing them, the new hinge will slide right out. Now after removing the old hinge, you're gonna put the new one in the same way you took the old one out, just vice versa. I personally like to get the outside screws in first. I wouldn't go too tight on the first screw to get the other ones lined up. Make sure you do not lose your washers that come on the front screws, only the front screws. After installing all 4 screws, you can go back around and tighten them all. All right, now this is your left hinge. It is completely installed. Now we'll move on to the right one. All right, so we got our side 2 black screws in here. We're gonna line up the front screws here. Get them in there and moving. Now when we got our 4 screws in, we can go around and tighten them all. All right. Now, what we will need to do now is, what I'd recommend doing is putting the door back on and make sure everything goes in, everything's closing properly before you push the unit back in and reinstall it into the cabinet. I just hate to put it back in, then have to remove it again. So we'll go ahead and do that now to ensure that it's working properly. Okay, now we're going to reinstall the door on our new hinges. All you do is just slide it right down on the new ones. All right. Just to ensure the proper working status. Should pivot there and pull shut. All right, so we know this is pulling shut good. The old one was sticking out about this far. This one's pulling it shut, so we know we're good there. So now we'll remove the door again. We'll reinstall the whole oven into the cabinet the same way we removed it. Now those are all gonna vary the way that these are installed. There could be screws in different places. That's the only reason why we didn't film it. In this particular case, there was 4 Phillips head screws, 2 on each oven cavity on each side, so 8 total on this particular unit. Sometimes they're screwed up into the top, sometimes to the bottom, from the sides. It just varies on every individual oven. All right, we got the oven reinstalled into the cabinet. Our last thing we're gonna do to complete the repair is slide the door back on. Slide it right down the hinges there. Ensure that it's working properly. Pivot there and make sure it's pulling shut. And after you put the door back on, that will complete your repair.
Thank you for watching another quality video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.